Hi, my name is Sarah Furness. I'm a motivational and leadership speaker. I spent 21 years in the Royal Air Force as a combat helicopter pilot and a squadron leader. And I now focus on leadership. And I'm going to answer some really common leadership questions that I get. A really common challenge and leadership question that I get is, what leadership approaches are most effective in managing resistance to change in large organisations? To answer this question, I'm going to ask you another question. Imagine someone that you care about, respect, deeply admire, perhaps your beloved, puts a cup of tea in your hands and they say, "We need to talk. Something's got to change." What would you be thinking? What would you be feeling? Are you thinking, "Great, I'm going to get some positive feedback"? Or would you be thinking, "Oh my goodness, what have I done?" I think this is a really important clue into what's going on when we are asking the people in our organisations to change, particularly if that change is done too. For sure, change requires effort and, who wants to do that? But actually underlying all that is a fear they've done something wrong or a fear they're being set up for failure in the future. So really, I think the most effective way to lead people through that is to address this fear or to help them address this fear. Now, that is not to say that you're removing the fear. You're not saying, "Don't worry, there is absolutely nothing you could possibly get wrong. And if you do, then I'm going to, shield that for you. There are no consequences." That's not fair, realistic, or actually it doesn't really paint them in the best light, because people are, more than capable of being accountable for their own actions. I think a really clever way to navigate through this and to lead people through this is to demonstrate that failure is part of the journey. In fact, the reason you're changing is probably because you have identified things you could have done better, i.e. there have been some mistakes, probably unintentional, and you've taken that learning and taken it into this transformation process. So what we need to demonstrate is that it's part of the process and we're going to walk the walk. And I think one of the simplest ways to do that is simply to show up and own up about our own mistakes. So sharing with your team, the larger organisation, some of the mistakes you made as a leader and what you learned from that and how that has helped you to improve your processes or your understanding in future. So quite simply, go first, share your mistakes with your team, with your organisation. Show them that you are walking with them through this change process by leveraging your mistakes and facing your own fear of failure.